Update, my fiancé made fun of my career at her office party. So I broke off the engagement right in front of everyone. Part 2. When I returned to the table, I calmly grabbed my coat and prepared to leave. F came rushing in behind me, clearly flustered. Wait, you're really going to make a spectacle out of this? She hissed, trying to keep her voice low. You did that all on your own, I replied, keeping my tone calm. Enjoy the rest of your party. The people around us were starting to notice the tension. I could see curious glances and whispered conversations, but I didn't stop. F grabbed my arm one last time, her voice desperate now. Please, let's talk about this. You're blowing everything out of proportion. I turned to her, meeting her eyes.
I gave you chances to respect me, F. I supported you, celebrated your successes, and never belittled what you do.
But you couldn't do the same for me. This isn't something I can talk out. It's who you are. With that, I walked out of the party, leaving her standing there with the engagement ring still in her hand. The drive home was quiet, my emotions a mix of relief and lingering frustration. I replayed the events of the night in my head, questioning whether I'd made the right decision. But every time I thought about her comments, the dismissive way she spoke about my career, I knew I'd done what was best for me. Over the next few days, the fallout began. Mutual friends started calling and texting, asking what had happened. Apparently, F had wasted no time spinning her version of the story. He's so insecure, she wrote in a group chat. I was joking and he couldn't handle it. Who ends an engagement over a toast? I chose not to engage. The people who mattered knew the truth, and I wasn't about to stoop to her level. But when one friend sent me screenshots of her venting on social media, I realized she wasn't going to stop. She painted me as controlling and overly sensitive, claiming she dodged a bullet. That's when I decided it was time to take control of the narrative. I reached out to the people who had been at the party, friends, colleagues, even acquaintances, and calmly explained my side of the story. I told them about the constant belittling, the lack of respect, and how the party was just the final straw. Most of them were understanding, and some even apologized for laughing at the toast. One coworker of hers privately messaged me, saying, I never liked how she talked about you. She made it sound like she was settling for less. It stung, but it also validated my decision. F had never truly valued me or my work, and I wasn't going to let her continue to define the narrative. My decision to end the engagement sent ripples through our social circles, but I stayed firm. F continued her attempts to paint me as the villain, but her behavior at the party and the stories others shared about her behind closed doors began to catch up with her. One particularly satisfying moment came when a mutual friend who had been on the fence messaged me. I talked to someone at her office, they wrote. They said she brags about how she settled for you because she thought you'd be easy to control. Sounds like you dodged a bullet. Dodged a bullet, indeed. The ultimate moment of closure came when I got a call from her boss. Apparently, the gossip about the party had made its way back to management, and they were concerned about her professionalism. I didn't have to say much, just confirmed the facts about the toast and her subsequent behavior. The boss thanked me and said they would handle it internally. I don't know what happened next, but I heard through the grapevine that F was passed over for a promotion she had been eyeing. Actions, after all, have consequences. With F out of my life, I threw myself into work and the things I loved. I started taking on more complex projects at the shop, upgraded some of my tools, and even began teaching weekend classes for aspiring mechanics. It felt good to focus on something that brought me joy, free from judgment or condescension. As for the engagement ring, I sold it and used the money to treat myself to a much-needed vacation. It was my way of closing that chapter and moving forward. Looking back, I realized the breakup wasn't just about the toast. It was about what the toast revealed. F didn't see me as an equal, she saw me as someone to mock, to control, to use for her own ego. And that's not love. Love is about respect, partnership, and lifting each other up, not tearing each other down for a cheap laugh.